15 Cruel Ways the Royals Treated Princess Diana You Never Knew. They say royalty comes with privilege, but for Princess Diana it came with unimaginable cruelty. From secret plots to cold-hearted snubs, the royals treated her in ways you've never heard of. Stories that were buried but deserved to be told. Today we're pulling back the curtain on 15 shocking moments where the royals treated Princess Diana in ways you'll never believe. From being publicly sidelined to private betrayals, these actions weren't just hurtful, they were devastating. The truth about what Princess Diana endured is more unsettling than you think. Number 1. The cold reception into the family. When Princess Diana became engaged to King Charles, she likely expected to be welcomed warmly into the royal family. However, the reality was far from that. Princess Diana often spoke about how she was met with a cold and distant attitude from Queen Elizabeth and other senior royals. Rather than being treated as a new family member, she was seen more as an outsider who needed to quickly adapt to royal life. The formality of the palace was overwhelming for Princess Diana, who came from a more laid-back background. The royals were polite, but emotionally distant, and this made her feel incredibly isolated. Princess Diana found herself struggling to navigate a world filled with strict rules and traditions, all while receiving little personal guidance or support from her new family. This cold reception set the tone for much of her time as a royal, making her feel like she never truly belonged. Number 2. King Charles' indifference. One of the hardest things Princess Diana had to endure was the emotional distance of her husband, King Charles. From the very beginning, it was clear that their marriage was not built on love, at least not from Charles' side. He was often indifferent to Princess Diana's feelings and needs, which left her feeling incredibly lonely. The public saw them as a glamorous couple, but behind closed doors, Princess Diana faced a very different reality. Charles was emotionally unavailable, spending much of his time focusing on his relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles. Even in private moments, Charles rarely offered Princess Diana the support and affection she craved. This indifference made Princess Diana feel neglected and unwanted, adding to the pressure she already faced as a new royal. The lack of emotional connection between the two led to a marriage that was filled with tension and unhappiness. Number 3. The pressure to produce an heir. The moment Princess Diana married King Charles, she faced immense pressure from the royal family to produce an heir to the throne. The heir and the spare concept meant that Princess Diana was expected to have not just one child, but two, one to inherit the throne and another as a backup. This pressure began almost immediately after her wedding, with the royal family eager for her to fulfill her duty. The stress of this expectation weighed heavily on Princess Diana, especially as she was still very young and adjusting to royal life. Fortunately, Princess Diana gave birth to Prince William in 1982 and then to Prince Harry in 1984. However, the focus on her ability to have children overshadowed her own health and well-being. Princess Diana felt like her primary value in the family was based on her ability to produce an heir, which added to her feelings of being used and objectified. Number 4. Lack of emotional support. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of Princess Diana's time in the royal family was the lack of emotional support she received. Coming from a close-knit, more emotionally open background, Princess Diana struggled to adapt to the royal family's more formal and detached nature. When she began facing personal struggles such as her battle with bulimia and the pressure of her public role, Princess Diana found that no one in the royal family was willing to offer her comfort or guidance. The family was known for their stiff upper lip approach to life, meaning they didn't openly discuss emotions or personal problems. This left Princess Diana feeling isolated and misunderstood. She often expressed her deep loneliness, noting that despite being surrounded by people, she felt entirely alone, without the emotional support she desperately needed. Princess Diana was left to deal with her issues on her own, further straining her mental health. Number 5. King Charles' affair with Camilla Parker Bowles. One of the most painful and public betrayals Princess Diana faced was King Charles' ongoing affair with Camilla Parker Bowles. From early on in their marriage, Princess Diana knew that Charles was still in love with Camilla, and this knowledge caused her immense emotional pain. The affair was an open secret within the royal family, and while it was kept quiet from the public at first, Princess Diana had to endure the humiliation of knowing that her husband's heart belonged to someone else. Despite her efforts to make the marriage work, Princess Diana was left feeling like a third wheel in her own relationship. Charles' continued involvement with Camilla created a sense of betrayal that Princess Diana never fully recovered from. The affair and the royal family's acceptance of it made her feel even more isolated, as it seemed no one was willing to acknowledge the damage it was doing to her emotionally. Number 6. Isolation at Balmoral. Balmoral Castle, the royal family's estate in Scotland, was meant to be a place of relaxation and retreat. However, for Princess Diana, it was a place of deep loneliness. Whenever the royal family visited Balmoral, Princess Diana found herself feeling excluded from their activities. The royal family enjoyed traditional pastimes like hunting and fishing, but these were activities Princess Diana didn't particularly care for. As a result, she often felt out of place and isolated. The formality and distance of the family members at Balmoral only worsened her feelings of alienation. While they enjoyed each other's company, Princess Diana was left on the sidelines with little effort made to include her. What was supposed to be a holiday destination became a symbol of her emotional isolation within the family. For Princess Diana, Balmoral represented the coldness and indifference she felt from the people who were supposed to be her closest companions. Number 7. Dismissal of her mental health struggles. Princess Diana's mental health struggles were one of the most significant challenges she faced during her time in the royal family. She battled depression and bulimia, both of which were exacerbated by the pressure and isolation she experienced in her royal role. However, when Princess Diana sought help for her mental health, her concerns were largely dismissed by the family. The royal family was more concerned with maintaining a perfect public image than addressing the real problems Princess Diana was facing. This left Princess Diana feeling even more alone, as she received no support from those closest to her. Rather than acknowledging her mental health issues, the family expected her to carry on with her royal duties as if nothing was wrong. Princess Diana often spoke about how her cries for help were ignored, which only deepened her sense of despair. The lack of support from the people who should have cared for her most was one of the greatest cruelties she endured. Number 8. Undermining her charitable efforts. Princess Diana's deep passion for charity work made her stand out from other members of the royal family. Her hands-on involvement in causes like HIV/AIDS awareness, homelessness, and landmine victims earned her global admiration. Princess Diana didn't just show up for events. She actively engaged with the people her charities were helping, often hugging individuals and connecting with them on a personal level. However, her groundbreaking work was not always celebrated within the royal family. Some members felt that Princess Diana's growing popularity, especially due to her charitable efforts, threatened their own image. Instead of receiving support for her work, Princess Diana often felt that her efforts were undervalued and even undermined. Her approach to charity was seen as too informal and emotional by the royals, who preferred a more detached, traditional style of public service. Despite the lack of support, Princess Diana's legacy in the charitable sector continues to inspire people around the world. Number 9. Criticism of her parenting style. Princess Diana's approach to raising her two sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, was very different from the traditional methods favored by the royal family. She was hands-on, affectionate, and took a modern approach to parenting, which included showing love and emotion in public. Princess Diana often hugged her sons, took them on regular outings, and even brought them along on royal tours. However, this level of involvement was frowned upon by some members of the royal family, who believed that such behavior was too informal and not befitting of a future king's upbringing. Princess Diana's decision to break with royal tradition was seen as controversial, as she faced criticism from those who preferred the more distant, formal parenting style that had been used in the family for generations. Despite this criticism, Princess Diana remained committed to being an active and loving mother, putting the emotional well-being of her children above all else. Number 10. Exclusion from key decisions. Even though Princess Diana was the mother of the future king, Prince William, she often found herself excluded from important royal decisions. Whether it was matters concerning public appearances, royal duties or even decisions about her own children, Princess Diana was frequently left out of the conversation. This exclusion made her feel sidelined and powerless within the family. She wanted to have a say in key family matters, especially when it involved her role as a mother, but the royal family often kept her at arm's length. This lack of involvement in important decisions added to Princess Diana's growing sense of frustration and alienation. It was yet another reminder that despite her high status as a princess and a mother of the future king, she was not truly seen as an equal within the family. Her voice and opinions were often disregarded, which further deepened her feelings of isolation. Number 11. Public image management. The royal family's always been highly concerned with maintaining a positive public image. For Princess Diana, this meant that her struggles and flaws were often used as a way to deflect attention from other royal issues. Rather than receiving protection from the harsh media scrutiny she faced, Princess Diana was frequently left to fend for herself. On several occasions, stories were leaked to the press painting Princess Diana in a negative light in order to distract from other royal scandals. This manipulation of her public image added to the immense pressure she already faced and left her feeling betrayed by the family she'd married into. While the royals worked to protect their own reputations, Princess Diana often felt like a scapegoat, with her personal struggles being put on public display for the world to see. The lack of protection from the royal family during these media attacks only added to her emotional burden. Number 12. Lack of support during the separation. When Princess Diana and King Charles officially separated in 1992, the royal family's response was distant and unsupportive. Rather than rallying around Princess Diana during this difficult time, she was largely left to deal with the fallout on her own. The media frenzy that followed their separation was intense, and Princess Diana found herself under constant scrutiny. Instead of offering her guidance or emotional support, the royal family remained cold and detached, leaving Princess Diana to navigate the storm of public attention and personal pain on her own. This lack of support during such a challenging period only highlighted the emotional distance between Princess Diana and the royals. Despite the immense pressures of her separation, Princess Diana continued to carry out her royal duties while also trying to shield her children from the chaos surrounding their family. The royal family's failure to support her during this time added yet another layer of difficulty to an already painful situation. Number 13. Refusal to allow marriage counseling. As her marriage to King Charles began to crumble, Princess Diana sought help through marriage counseling. She believed that professional intervention could help repair their strained relationship. However, the royal family reportedly refused to allow it. Marriage counseling was seen as unnecessary and too private an issue to be discussed openly. Princess Diana's request for help was denied, and she was left to deal with the breakdown of her marriage alone. The refusal to seek outside help further strained the relationship between Princess Diana and Charles, and made it clear that the family was more interested in maintaining appearances than addressing real problems. This refusal to acknowledge the issues in their marriage left Princess Diana feeling even more isolated as she struggled to cope with her personal life falling apart. Without the opportunity for counseling, the emotional distance between Princess Diana and Charles only grew, eventually leading to the end of their marriage. Number 14. The Three in the Marriage revelation. In her famous 1995 interview with BBC's Martin Bashir, Princess Diana made the bold statement, "There were three of us in this marriage," referring to King Charles' affair with Camilla Parker Bowles. This revelation shocked the world and exposed the deep emotional pain Princess Diana had endured throughout her marriage. For years, Princess Diana had been forced to put on a brave face in public, despite knowing that her husband was still in love with another woman. The royal family's acceptance of Charles' ongoing relationship with Camilla only added to Princess Diana's suffering. Her admission in the interview was a rare moment of honesty in a life that had been marked by secrecy and restraint. The fact that the royal family allowed this third person to exist in Princess Diana's marriage without intervention speaks to the emotional neglect she experienced. This revelation cemented the public's sympathy for Princess Diana and further distanced her from the royal family. Number 15. The cold response to her death. When Princess Diana tragically died in a car crash in 1997, The world mourned. However, the royal family's initial response was seen by many as cold and detached. While people across the globe were grieving, the royal family maintained silence, which led to widespread criticism. The public expected an immediate statement from Queen Elizabeth and the royal family, but days passed without a word. The family's slow response to Princess Diana's death created a backlash, with many accusing them of lacking empathy. The royal family's decision to stay at Balmoral rather than returning to London to address the public only fueled these accusations. Eventually, after days of growing outrage, Queen Elizabeth made a public statement acknowledging the loss. But the damage had already been done. The coldness of the family's initial reaction contrasted sharply with the immense outpouring of grief from the public, further highlighting the emotional distance that had defined Princess Diana's time within the royal family. As we've seen, Princess Diana faced unimaginable challenges during her time in the royal family. From emotional neglect to public humiliation, her journey was far from the fairy tale the world imagined. What do you think was the most shocking way Princess Diana was treated? Let us know in the comments. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!